my successful lions out there. We back. Eckhart Tolle, A New Earth, Waking into Your Life's Purpose. We're gonna read a section in here that I picked out. Uh, Complaining and resentment. See that? That's what we're gonna go to. Page 61. That's what we're gonna read today. Like I say, I didn't read this whole book. And this book is like 200 and some pages. I want you guys to go and read it for yourself. Support the author. It's a great read. He also has the book, The Power of Now, which is incredible. And this one is A New Earth, Waking into Your Life's Purpose, which a lot of you guys need to do. Like I said, this whole episode is finding out what you're here for, finding out your purpose, and getting up out here and go and get it. Complaining and resentment. Complaining is one of the ego's favorite strategies for strengthening itself. Every complaint is a little story the mind makes up that you completely believe in. Whether you complain aloud or only in thought makes no difference. Some egos that perhaps don't have much else to identify with easily survive on complaining alone. When you are in the grip of such an ego, complaining, especially about other people, is habitual and, of course, unconscious, which means you don't know what you are doing. Applying negative mental labels to people, either to their face or more commonly when you speak about them to others, or even just think about them, is often part of the problem, of the pattern. Name calling is the crudest form of such labelings and of ego's need to be right and triumph over others. Jerk, bastard, bitch, all definitive pronouncements that you can't argue with. On the next level down on the scale. A bunch of unconsciousness. You have shouting and screaming and not much below that physical violence. Remember, resentment is the emotion that goes with complaining and the mental labeling of people and adds even more energy to the ego. Resentment means to feel bitter, indignant, aggrieved, and offended. You resent other people's greed, their dishonesty, their lack of integrity, what they are doing, what they did in the past, what they said, what they failed to do, what they should or shouldn't have done. The ego loves it. Instead of overlooking unconsciousness in others, you make it into their identity. Who is doing that? The unconsciousness in you, the ego. Sometimes the fault that you perceive in another isn't even there. It is a total misinterpretation, a projection by a mind conditioned to see enemies and to make itself right or superior. At other times, the fault may be there, but by focusing on it, sometimes to the exclusion of everything else, you amplify it. And what you react to in another, you strengthen in yourself. Non-reaction to the ego in others is one of the most effective ways not only of going beyond ego in yourself, but also of dissolving the collective human ego. But you can only be in a state of non-reaction if you can recognize someone's behavior as coming from the ego, as being an expression of the collective human dysfunction. When you realize it's not personal, there is no longer a compulsion to react as if it were. By not reacting to the ego, you will often be able to bring out the sanity in others, which is the unconditioned conscious as opposed to the condition. See, that's a great read, man. Great knowledge, man. Eckhart Tolle, A New Earth, Awakening to Your Life Purpose. #1 New York Times bestseller. Great read. Absolutely great read, man. And it picks on everything that we've been talking about this past episode. Ego is a hell of a thing. That's why I say you don't have to be the loudest person in the room. We have one mouth and two ears for a reason, you know, um, and two eyes for a reason. Just look, listen, and then you speak. You know what I mean? So yeah, great read. Now we're gonna get into Corinthians. Second Corinthians. We're gonna start with chapter 6, verse 10. As sorrowful, yet always rejoicing; as poor, yet making many rich; as having nothing, and yet possessing all things. O ye Corinthians, our mouth is open unto you, our heart is enlarged. Ye are not straitened in us, but ye are straitened in your own bowels. Now for a recompense in the same I speak as unto my children. Be ye also enlarged, be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship has unrighteousness with unrighteousness? And what communion has light with darkness? And I said that, in the last part about being unequally yoked. I like to bring things all together and sum everything up with what I read, what I speak about in my, vlogs and my episodes, especially when it comes to books, because being unequally yoked, with people that you just have nothing in common right now with, it doesn't benefit you or them to continue to butt heads when you guys had a great relationship. You could just continue on and let that person continue on, and there's no love lost. You still got love for each other, but you're just continuing on different paths, in life. And it doesn't mean you guys have to be enemies. Um, you're just separated right now, you know. Um, yeah, man. So like I say, stay up, stay shining, stay smiling, and shine on them, man. Shine on them. Peace.